Hey everyone, welcome back to Behind the Grape, where we talk about interesting wines from around the world, where you can find them, and what to pair with them. Try never to rate the wines, just have fun with them, and hopefully showcase something new and unique that maybe you haven't seen before. In this case, we are going to go to northern Italy, to Emilia-Romagna, and we're going to talk about the Cantina Formigine Piedemontana Tramontino Lambrusco. Here we are. Look at that color. Now, some of you might be saying, that looks like a sparkling red wine. And in fact, it is a sparkling red wine. This is made from the Lambrusco Grasparosa varietal, and it is sparkling red. The grape is also Lambrusco. The method that is used for this wine is called the Charmat method, and I'll get back to that in a minute. But let's just talk a little bit about this winery. It was founded in 1920. Until about 1938, where it was working with 49 or so growers. Today, there's over 380 growers on 600 hectares of land producing this Lambrusco Grasparosa varietal. I love these styles of wine because, again, they are so interesting, and you don't see them on a lot of wine lists. You don't see a lot of people investing in them. Slowly starting to change, but I mean, at the end of the day, we're creatures of habit, and we like to stick to what we know, right? Our Pinot Grigio, our Sauvignon Blanc, Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, etc., Prosecco. So going back to this wine and how it gets to be a sparkling red. So when the grapes are first picked, they are slowly pressed, and then they're put into a cooled stainless steel tank. Then when we're ready to go into secondary fermentation, in this case, the Charmat method, of which there's actually four ways to create sparkling wine, but this one, the Charmat method. It goes into a pressurized tank where the winemaker adds some yeast and sugar, and that mixes with the CO2. And depending on how much bubbles the winemaker wants, will determine the length of time. This one is a slightly bubbly wine, so it's anywhere between 20 days to 3 months. Now, the Charmat method was discovered in 1907 by Eugene Charmat. He's the person responsible for this method. So I always like to give a shout out where it's due. This style wouldn't exist if it wasn't for him. So let's look at the wine. So you look at this wine, like, it is very translucent. It's almost strawberry. And the reason I say that is because once we get into this wine, that's going to be what we see first and foremost. It's very clean, just stunning clarity of wine. On the nose, this is all fresh fruit. There's strawberries, raspberries, red currants, little dried cassis, a lot of floral notes of violets and rose petals. Really floral. Slight amount of minerality, but it's all about this is all about red fruit, bright red fruit, and enticing. There's also a little sweet note to it that's really calling me in. So we're going to taste this wine. Obviously, the first thing that hits me is the bubbles and the frizzante. But then it's just an explosion of strawberries, a combination of ripe strawberry and dried strawberry, raspberry, red currants and red cassis. Really dry, really high acidity. And like we talked about earlier in the week, that high acidity just keeps the mouth watering, and it begs you to come back for more. That minerality of the wine is still there, and I can still pick up that little bit of floral. It's got a fairly good finish, like good length. You can still taste it. I'm still tasting those strawberries towards the back of my neck. A little bit of the raspberry as well. But this is not a wine. This is not a complex wine. It's not a wine you want to spend a lot of time talking about per se. It's a wine you want to drink. And in fact, these wines are meant to be drank within 15 months of being bottled and produced. Really great. Like, the reason I chose this wine today is it was a super hot day here in Toronto, and I wanted something with some freshness, some acidity, some vibrancy that was just going to cool me down and have something fun to talk about. Like, with a show of hands, how many people are buying wines from Emilia-Romagna? Not just this one, but buying others. And I hope you are too, because some great values out there. This particular wine in the Ontario marketplace is $16.95. You know, $16.95 for a sparkling wine, pretty unheard of. In this marketplace, it is represented by Medavino Wine Imports, which is run by a gentleman named Serge Janik. I believe he started bringing this wine in about 2 years ago into the marketplace. With this wine, I'd look for, I'd pair this with a light pasta with a light red tomato sauce. I'd even do a little garden salad with some spinach and mixed greens, a little bit of blue cheese, or not blue cheese, sorry, a little gorgonzola, just to add some extra creaminess to the wine itself. But a stunning wine, great value, sparkling red. You bring this to your neighbor's backyard, and just, what's this sparkling red? I can't believe that it's even made, is what some people would say. And so it's a great way to turn them on to something new. So I hope you enjoyed this about the Lambrusco, and that you get out and try it soon. Thanks, guys, and have a great night.